A city that's both charming and modern, where amongst the hustle and bustle lies ancient heritage, rich culture, diversity, dhokla, tepla, kanvi, and of course, lots of cows. Welcome to my Ahmedabad. My mom was visiting me all the way from Siliguri, and this was in the beginning of March, completely unaware of what's coming up in the next months. We went to the nearest crossroads and browsed around the bookshop only to end up buying color pencils. Sitting in a coffee shop and coloring is so therapeutic, believe me, and I think everybody should try it once. So, moving on for dinner, we went to this cute cafe called Little French House where we ate some pasta and spinach and cheese ravioli. Our first day of sightseeing started off with the Sidi Sayyid Mosque, popularly known as Jali. It was built in the late 16th century and is one of the most famous mosques of the Gujarat Sultanate. Fun fact, the IIMA logo has been taken from its building, popular for its intricate lace like carvings and hence called the Jali. Next up is the Bhadra Fort, which was built by Ahmad Shah I in the early 15th century, and it served as the principal eastern gate of the palace back then. Nothing much remains from the palace except this massive structure in the middle of a very crowded bazaar. From there on, we went to the Ravivar Gujari Bazaar, and as the name suggests, it is laid out every Sunday. This market was started by Sultan Ahmed Shah near the Bhadra Fort, and now it is popular for antique and vintage pieces. Gramophones, cameras, vinyl records, old magazines, you can find it all here. Lunch was at Swati Snacks, which is a popular casual dining restaurant that serves authentic Gujarati snacks. This place was highly recommended by a lot of people, and rightly so. We had the panki, which is basically savory rice pancakes steamed in banana leaf. After an afternoon siesta, we went to chill at an outdoor cafe called Zen. It is popularly known as Ahmedabad Gufa, which is basically an underground art scene where you can check out exhibitions and have some cold coffee. We had an early start to the day on day 2 and reported for the Heritage Walk at 7:30 in the morning at Swami Narayan Mandir. The walk is organized by the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and is about 3 hours long, so I would recommend you to wear comfortable shoes and clothes. This particular place is called the Dodia Haveli. You can even look it up on Google and book it for a day or two to actually experience what it's like living in a Haveli. Next up on our list was the Calico Museum of Textiles. Unfortunately, we could not visit because one is supposed to book the tickets through the website about 4 weeks in advance. Next up, we went to a stepwell built in the 15th century for the purpose of water conservation. It is built in sandstone and is a blend of both Islamic and Hindu architecture. Then we went to the Jhulta Minar, also known as the shaking minarets. On gently shaking of either minaret results in the other vibrating for a few seconds, and hence the reason behind its name. The structure was destroyed in 1753 during the war between the Marathas and the Khans of the Gujarat Sultanate. The next day, we went to a dargah by the name of Sarkej Roza, which was once a prominent center for Sufi culture in India. The Sufi saint Ahmad Baksh was a friend and advisor of Sultan Ahmad Shah, who told him to set up his capital on the banks of Sabarmati. Adalaj is another stepwell built in the vicinity of the city by Rana Veer Singh of the Waghela dynasty for his queen Ruda Devi, and it is yet another fine example of Indian architecture. House of MG is a boutique heritage hotel and is one of the oldest buildings in the city. It represents colonial heritage architecture and currently is popular for its authentic Gujarati thali. Conflictorium is a museum that bridges creativity by highlighting how social change is possible through innovation. It presents a discourse by promoting acceptance and dialogue on trivial issues.